Good afternoon, dear students. So today we are going to see a topic foreign policy of India in the subject Constitution of India. This topic is coming under the unit number 5, and in this topic we are going to discuss the various thoughts and policies developed in India towards maintaining a smooth and healthy relations between the other countries, particularly the Asian countries. And as an introduction, the foreign policy of India regulates India's relations with other countries of the world in promoting its national interest. And these policies are set up with a particular country based on the various parameters of the particular country, that is the geographical parameters, history, tradition, political organization, economic position, and so on. Based on that parameters of a particular country, India will decide its policies towards that country for maintaining a fruitful relation with that country. And overall objectives of this kind of Indian foreign policy set is to protect India's core national interest and concerns in a rapidly changing international environment. Day by day, the world is changing. So we need to set our protocols and policies in accordance with the change of the world. So for that, we are planned to have some objectives towards our foreign relations. In that, we have to preserve the autonomy of the decision making process among the other countries. If we want to take any decision for the benefit of our country or for the benefit of another country, we should have some autonomy of the decision making. We are having an enriched manpower. We are having an efficient manpower also. So we are able to take right decisions with all benefits. In particular, we need autonomy to take a particular decision. So we have to preserve that rights to take decision by our own for the benefit of all others. And we have to strengthen the international campaign against terrorism, and which is the global threat. So the terrorism is a leading issue nowadays worldwide, and India has to strengthen its campaign against the terrorism with collaboration with other interested countries. And we have to build an international environment which is supportive of India's rapid economic growth. We have to make our environment fruitful for our economic growth. And we need to work closely with P5 countries in order to build a strategic ties with major powers such as USA, Europe, Japan, Russia, and China. And continues, the objectives are not only limited with the previous slide. In addition to that, we have to intensify and strengthen the ties with the neighbor countries also. Not only with the strong countries, India want to make a strong bond. With the neighbor countries, even they are very small, less power than India, India will treat them equal and maintain a smooth relation with them for mutually beneficial cooperations. And we need to work for the realization of SAARC as an economically integrated region at peace. We need to ensure the elimination of cross-border terrorism, and we have to strengthen our ties with the countries of Gulf region also, and which is having over 4 million Indians in them. And India needs to promote a more equitable equation between the developed and the developing world in the political. Nowadays, India is not a developed country, and it's underdeveloping and nearly developed. So in that case, India can maintain relation with developing countries and developed countries, and for the mutual benefit, India can take many decisions. And by considering these objectives, India developed a lot of doctrines. Doctrines are nothing but a set of principles developed for a particular motto. So that doctrines are developed based on these principles only. So by each and every aspects in a particular doctrine, the shown principles are considered. That is, the very first point is India should promote the world peace. and India is always against colonialism. I think you all will know about the colonialism. So this is nothing but the um, unethical action of any country on another country by establishing their colonies in that particular country. So it's strictly opposed by India. And anti-racialism is also India preferring. And non-alignment, Panchashil, Afro-Asian bias, these are all the various former principles which are all considered when we are preparing any doctrine in our foreign policy. Let's see one by one. So the Gujarat Doctrine of India is a set of principles and policies which are all introduced in the year 1996 by I.K. Gujarat. The doctrines from now we are going to see which are all having an international interest. And this doctrine insists that India being the biggest country in South Asia and it should extend unilateral concessions to the smaller neighbors. And the doctrine is actually it's a 5-point roadmap in order to guide the conduct of India's foreign relation with its immediate neighbors. So this doctrine aspects are mostly concentrating on the countries which are all very near to India, next to Indian borders. So like Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal and Sri Lanka. And India has to do anything without reciprocity. We should not expect anything from them in order to do any favor to them. We should do any favor whichever is possible by us to them without expecting the reciprocity from them. So in addition, no South Asian country should allow its territory to be used against the interest of another country of the region. So it is a policy of India. India insisting this policy also to the neighborhood countries. If any two countries are in any dispute, the third country should not blindly support a single country and they should not give space for the activities which are all made to harm other countries. And no country should interfere in the internal affairs of the another country. That statement is also reflecting the features of the Panchashil introduced by our former Prime Minister Nehru. And all South Asian countries should respect each other's territorial integrity and sovereignty. And all South Asian countries would settle all their disputes through peaceful bilateral negotiations. And the next doctrine we are going to see is nuclear doctrine of India. So actually India developed its nuclear doctrine in the year 2003. By this doctrine, India announced its status on the use of nuclear weapon to the world. So the minimum requirement of this doctrine is India has to build and maintain a minimum deterrent with the nuclear weapons. So we are having nuclear weapons and it is ready to use. But the usage of the nuclear weapon is not just like that framed. It's under a detailed policy decisions. So we need not to use of nuclear weapons against the non-nuclear weapon countries. India never use nuclear weapons to a country which is having no nuclear weapon. And the meantime, if a posture of no first use is always followed by India. That is, India never started to use the nuclear weapon in a war against a country. If a country is using first the nuclear weapon against India, then only India start to attack the particular country with a nuclear weapon. However, in the event of major attack against India or Indian forces anywhere by biological or chemical weapons, then India will give back the nuclear weapon attack to the particular country. In addition, the nuclear attack of India on a country at the very first attack, this will be very massive and this will damage the particular country in a huge amount. This is what the statement by India. And nuclear retaliatory attacks can only be authorized by the civilian political leadership through the Nuclear Command Authority. As per the fissile material cut-off treaty negotiations, India is continuously having its control over the export of nuclear and missile-related materials and technologies all around the world. And India is always having commitment to the goal of a nuclear weapon-free world. Next, connect Central Asia policy of India. So later India developed a lot of set policies concentrating the countries in Asia region wise. So this shown policy is nothing but concentrating the countries which are all in the center of Asia. It is introduced in the year 2012, and by this policy he aimed to strengthening and expanding India's relations with the Central Asian countries like Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. So India will continue to build on its strong political relations through the exchange of high-level visits. So Indian higher political officers regularly need to visit the above said countries in order to maintain a strong political relation with the political leaders of the other countries. And India needed to strengthen its strategic and security cooperation with the neighborhood countries in the Central Asia. And India will set up a multilateral engagement with the Central Asian partners using the so-called forums. And India looks to Central Asia as a long-term partner. And one more interesting point is here is the Central Asia countries are having large cultivatable tracts of land. India is already a agriculture interested country. Lot of agriculture activities are going on in India. So this large cultivatable tracts of land potential in the Central Asia countries is attracting India to have a collaboration in the production of profitable crops with the Central Asia countries. And India is also ready to extend cooperation by setting up hospitals in the Central Asia countries. In addition, Indian banks can expand their presence if they see a favorable policy environment in the Central Asia countries. And the next policy we are going to see is Act East policy of India. The previous policy, the previous doctrine we see is nothing but concentrating the Central Asia country, and this policy is concentrating on the East Asia countries. So in the year 2014, the Narendra Modi government upgraded India's Look East policy and renamed it as the Act East policy. So India's Act East policy focuses on the extended neighborhood in the Asia Pacific region. The objective of the Act East policy is to promote economic cooperation, cultural ties, and develop strategic relationship with the countries in the Asia Pacific region through continuous engagement at bilateral, regional, and multilateral levels. Actually, India has upgraded its relations to strategic partnership with Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, Australia, Singapore, and association with the Southeast Asian nations. Act East policy has placed emphasis on India ASEAN cooperation in our domestic agenda on infrastructure, skills, urban renewal, Make in India, and other initiatives. Measures including building transport infrastructure, encouraging airlines to enhance connectivity in the region, contacts between academic and cultural institutions are also under process with the East Asian countries. So these are all the important doctrines developed by India in order to maintain a smooth and healthy environment with the neighborhood countries. Thank you for listening.